Hey everybody, John here for NWR TV, and today we are going to take a quick look at The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, running on both the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch. And the Nintendo Switch is, of course, in docked mode for this comparison. Now, the good news is that if you are still on the Wii U, you are still getting a very good Breath of the Wild experience. This is still an amazing game, no matter what system you play it on, and no matter how you play it. But there are a few small little differences between the versions, and if you're like me, you like to know about those differences, so let's take a look. The first thing we're going to notice in this intro cutscene is a very inconsequential change. It's essentially the warmth of the image and the brightness of the image is just slightly different. This could come down to slightly different lighting models or just moving the engine over to a different architecture. Sometimes slight changes with lighting can occur. I doubt it has anything to do with actual hardware limitations, likely just a small change that happened in conversion. Nothing major, obviously you can still see everything just fine. Just a slight change in color tone and brightness. And of course, you'll also notice, if you have this video playing at high resolution, the Wii U is running at a slightly lower resolution than the Nintendo Switch. The Wii U runs at a native 720p, and the Switch runs at 900p. So not a huge boost, it's not like we're boosting it up to 1080, but it is a noticeable difference in resolution. The Switch version actually runs in 720 when you're playing it in the portable mode, which looks fantastic because that is a native 720p screen, so it looks very, very sharp in portable mode. And you'll notice here, as the door opens up, early on we had some comparisons between the E3 build of the Wii U version and the Switch reveal event version of the Switch version of the game. And there was some differences in this lighting effect as the door opened. Now you can see here in the final versions of the games, it does look identical in both versions.
You are the light, our light.
And I don't think that was essentially the difference originally was that there was more of a shaft of light on the actual ground of the room that you're in. I don't think that the change was anything really on like a technical limitation side. I think they just moved the light source because you can still see some of that light on the stairs behind Link. So I think it was just an aesthetic change. Here we're just resyncing to get into this cutscene, and here we go. Originally, when we saw this cutscene back at E3 when the game was revealed, there were some frame rate issues here. Those do seem to have been cleared up, which is good. And here we can see our first big look at Hyrule. Now, it's important to remember that those plumes of fog off in the distance, those are randomly generated. So any sort of differences you see there are not because of any major difference in the system. They're different every time you come into this scene. When we do look at the distant areas, it appears that the level of detail and draw distance and all that is identical between both versions. Now we're going to take a quick look at some gameplay. Obviously, because of the random nature of this game, it's very hard to recreate the exact same sequence twice. But here we are fighting the same group of moblins, or bokoblins, sorry. And as you can see, both versions do experience some frame rate drops. In my experience, I feel like the Wii U may have slightly more regular frame rate drops, but unfortunately they are fairly common in both versions. Interesting to note, the Nintendo Switch version that runs in portable mode doesn't seem to really have any frame rate issues. It runs at a pretty solid locked 30 frames per second pretty much all the time. Alright, now here going into this cutscene, we will notice one of the few significant differences to the Wii U one. Obviously, loading into this segment of the cutscene takes longer on the Wii U version, so here we're going to freeze the Switch version and get them back in sync. There we go. And even once we do get them in sync, pretty much every time that the Wii U version cuts between a shot, it is falling almost an entire frame behind the Nintendo Switch version. Nothing you would ever notice while just casually playing the game. It's purely if you happen to be lining them up to do a comparison video that you would notice something like that. But it appears to just be a slightly slower load on the Wii U version. Nothing major, nothing you would ever notice, nothing that affects gameplay, but there it is. And as we move out of this cutscene and back into gameplay, we see the same issue again. It takes the Wii U just a little bit longer to load into that. Doesn't take it a whole lot longer, just, you know, an extra second or so. And here we will go into this last scene here, which actually goes really well. Once again, it does occasionally fall like a frame behind on cuts, but other than that, it holds up really well. So I guess if you are still playing on the Wii U, you have nothing to worry about. Zelda Breath of the Wild is still fantastic on Wii U, it's fantastic on Switch as well. Essentially, all you need to know is that you should go buy this game. It's incredible. Regardless of how you play it, just play it. It's fantastic. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. For more Zelda Breath of the Wild coverage, be sure to check out our channel at Nintendo World Report TV, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already so you can get more stuff like this just downloaded directly to your face every single day. Check out NintendoWorldReport.com for lots more, and if you really like this, you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/NWR and support us there if you choose to. Once again, my name's John Redden. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.